Welcome to Thorncliffe Park. And this is Millwood Road. And there's an 81 bus pulling into the stop. And off in the distance, through those trees, you can see the north end of downtown. We'll let that noisy bus get out of the way. And hello there, it is Friday, April 5th. The time is 12:07 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 5 degrees Celsius. And if you couldn't have guessed it, for this one, I'll be taking a walk through the Thorncliffe Park neighborhood. And along the way, I'll be popping into the East York Town Center. And that's a small regional mall at the center of this neighborhood. I think I've only ever been in there once. And that was about 3 years ago. And I don't know if the microphone is picking this up, but it is quite windy. And Thorncliffe Park is loosely bound by the Don River, which is to the east and to the south. It kind of diagonally cuts through this neighborhood. Millwood Drive to the west. That was right where I started this. And Wicksteed Avenue, which is just to the north of here. And just north of that is the Leaside neighborhood. And it's mostly apartment buildings in this neighborhood. As I walk east on Overlea Blvd. It looks like the traffic lights are out at this intersection. And the area just off in that direction used to be the old Thorncliffe Park Raceway. That was prior to the mid-1950s. The area contains an interesting mix of older residential apartment buildings and older industrial and commercial buildings. That small regional mall at the center and a few strip malls as well. And just up ahead will be the future home of an Ontario Line subway station. That's part of the 15-stop Ontario Line. And throughout this part of town, the subway will be elevated. And this is one of the densest neighborhoods in the city. Roughly 65% of all the residents here are newcomers to Canada, and about 80% are visible minorities. And relative to the rest of the city, the average income in the neighborhood is on the low side. And it also features a lower than average crime rate. And you can see there construction hoarding set up by Metrolinx. That's the transit agency tasked with building the Ontario line. Buildings located at 1 and 2 Thorncliffe Park will be vacated in April for the start of the Ontario line construction. So that will be a staging ground. I think there'll be an entrance to the station there as well. There will also be a large storage and maintenance facility just on the north side of the tracks. The area does feature ample bus connections. And it's mostly industrial just to the north. And this street here, Thorncliffe Park Drive, kind of boomerangs around. And after I cut through the shopping center, I'll be walking along Thorncliffe Park Drive and it'll spit me back out right where we're standing. Looks like someone may have found himself a new bicycle. There's construction underway right there for the Ontario line. And that is the East York Town Centre, so I'll be heading in there in a few minutes. And that office building on the left used to be part of Coca-Cola. There was a bottling plant and office located where that Costco is. I think it opened in 1965 and it closed in the early 2000s. The bottling plant was demolished. Costco is occupying part of the old office building. I think that Costco is about 7 or 8 years old. And this is a not so pedestrian friendly entrance to the East York Town Centre. This mall opened back in 1960. And it was briefly home to a Target. There was a Zeller's discount store, which is kind of like a Canadian Kmart, located on the East End. And when that closed up, Target moved in, and Target had a very short-lived existence in Canada. So really this Food Basics is the only thing resembling an anchor store. The mall opened up with a Savette department store back in 1960, and there was also a grocery store. Let's head in through the west end and make our way east through the mall. I think this Food Basics is connected to the rest of it, but we'll find out. There's a pizza. Chicken house. All right, we'll head into the mall. I've got to squeeze out of here, though. Excuse me? I'm not making a purchase. Thank you. And this mall features over 100 shops and services. And you can get a haircut for 15 bucks. Let's just see what's this way. There's a lot of smaller, lesser-known retailers here. Smoker's Dream. Apparently, you can head into many of the neighborhoods in the apartment through this walkway here. That'll take you right by a public school. The Rug Palace. Looks like 15 bucks is the going rate for a haircut. Food court to the right, professional offices to the right, washrooms to the right. There was a Bolorama here that closed down in 2016 to make room for a Fit for Less. Bill's Farm. A bookshop. Place called Maximum Deals. You can get a suit for 69 bucks. Furniture for less. Luggage and accessories. So this would be the food court. We'll walk up past the other side. Real fruit bubble tea. Lingerie. This is very crowded. There's a Dollarama. So this is on the end where Zeller's used to be. And during the pandemic, it served as a vaccination center. I think there's offices up on the second floor. All right, we'll check out the part of the mall I missed. And St. Michael's Kidney Center, or Kidney Care Center, is connected to the mall. It's a interesting assortment of clothes. Hello? I can't really cut through there.
Oh, I gotta give this key back.
There's a couple of security guards that were kind of eyeballing me. VR kids. Nails for you. Rogers store. A Metrolinx community office. It's certainly got an odd layout to it. Here's one of the only recognizable stores here, a Shoppers Drug Mart on the right. Bags. The food court's pretty hollowed out. In style, a quality product. WZ shoes. There's a place called Chester's Fried Chicken. Speaking of recognizable brands, there's quite a lineup for Timmy's. There's a directory of them all. So this is where the Bolorama used to be. And it looks like that lower level, it's mostly healthcare providers, not retail. Which would make sense. There's a hospital on that end of the mall. The East York Town Center. I'm just gonna grab a picture or two. There's the Costco. You can see a lot of towers going up well north of here along Eglinton. I think the Crosstown LRT might be spurring a lot of that development. So this is the east end of the mall. All right, let's head back to Overlea Drive, or Overlea Boulevard. And it looks like the traffic lights are still down. That means you treat it as a four-way stop. And those two towers straight ahead, the Leaside Towers. One of those is where serial killer Bruce MacArthur called home. And those towers off to the east of here are part of the Flemington Park neighborhood. There's the Value Village. And a few strip malls. It's really kind of interesting seeing a community that centers around a regional shopping mall like this. And if you were to keep going east You cross over the Don River. And just north of there is where there will be an Ontario Line station. Then just north of that is the Ontario Science Centre. That's where the northern terminus of the Ontario Line will be. But let's loop around Thorncliffe Park Drive here. I remember maybe about 3 years ago, I did a walking video through here, and I got a nasty DM from someone on Instagram and a very long email scolding me for having them in my video. They were literally just walking on the sidewalk, and they went on a long rant about how in their culture that's not acceptable. There's the St. Michael's Kidney Care Center, blocked by that Enterprise rental truck. And Thorncliffe Park Public School, which is ginormous. Long story short regarding that complaint I received, if you're in public or you're visible from public, you may find your image on social media or anywhere else. I don't go out of my way to record people, nor do I follow them around. Not unless they're calling special attention to themselves. But if it's incidental, so be it. And if you ask me politely, I'm more than happy to take you out of the video or obscure your identity, but if you're going to be a dick about it, then I might have second thoughts of obliging. There's the Thorncliffe Park Public School. I did end up blurring out that scene in that video. And now it is endless towers in the park style developments. That's the Parkvale Manor. There's a bike lane and bus service around Thorncliffe Park Drive. And there's a rather unassuming sign over there that says, "Oop, I can't get my camera into zoom mode," E.T. Seton Park on it. And if you head down that way, you'll go down quite a drop and it'll take you down to the Don River and connect you up with a trail that runs quite a distance. I think about 90% of the residents here are renting. But you probably could have guessed that. I personally would like to see more retail in this part. Everyone who wants to go to the store here by foot has to head up towards the mall and those plazas. This is a very 50s and 60s style of planning. And it kind of isolates the community from the rest of the city when you build it in this manner. There's the Jenner Jean Marie Community Rec Center. A public library. You know what? I think that path we saw out of the back of the mall is up this way. I have recorded along that stretch of Thorncliffe Park before. I don't think I've ever been up here. If I have, I don't remember. Let's do a little exploring. Someone practicing his cricket game. The Park Cafe cheese pizza slice, $2.50. I wish that were open right now. I could really go for one of those. It's a nice park space right in the heart of the community. All right, so this walkway here will take us right up to that shopping mall entrance I went out near the start of the video. Let's go along this way back over to Thorncliffe Park Drive. It's nice that they have these walkways connecting that Central Park area. That's the Hellenic Cultural Center. So we'll just head back up to Overlea Blvd. Beanfield is coming. That is fantastic news for these residents. Beanfield is a fiber optic internet provider. Who, unlike the big telcos, has very affordable rates. And when you sign up with them, there's not a promise of, oh, you get this rate for 1 year and we'll pull the rug out from under you. Their rate is the rate. And their regular price is as good as the promo deals from Bell and Rogers. I've heard nothing but good things about their service. This isn't a paid ad. In fact, if Beanfield serviced my apartment, I'd sign up with them, but sadly, my fiber optic is with Bell. And I'm only paying $55 a month. But there is that threat of them just jacking up the rate when that deal expires. Montessori Education Center. It looks like there's another walkway that'll connect you over to the mall. And there's another one over there. That one must take you all the way over to Millwood. But my plan is to head to Eglinton Station. Let's see here. I could take the '88A bus. I don't really want to do that. Another look over back towards the mall. All right, I think I'll end this one right here at Overlea Blvd and Thorncliffe Park Drive. So I'm just going to backtrack back over to Millwood and catch a bus. Either one up to Eglinton and then to the 34, or I'll take a bus that'll take me all the way to Yonge and Eglinton. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I guess if I was going to Pape Station, that would be a good bus to hop on. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. And there is a super thanks button appearing below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.